Because now we're going to turn to Nvidia, which would like to be more able to sell more of its chips to somebody, arguably an adversary, which is China. But it's also running into export controls as well. Christina Partsenevelis, as alluded to, is looking at that angle of the Nvidia AI export story.
Well, Dom, Nvidia is really walking this tightrope with export controls. You got balancing compliance, profits, and competition. And I'll get to that. You guys just talked about it. On last night's earnings call, CEO Jensen Huang noted China revenue has dropped to half of pre-export levels. Sounds great. But that still means $17 billion, according to their annual report. That's 13% of total revenues. That's now at risk if new U.S. restrictions take effect. Export-compliant chips, that would be the H20s, have been Nvidia's China lifeline, generating an estimated $12 to $15 billion in 2024. Keep in mind, Nvidia doesn't break it out, so this was according to semi-analysis. Chinese customers continue buying them up, especially since DeepSeek gained global attention. But if banned, Nvidia could lose billions of dollars annually from China. Its global dominance, yes, and new Blackwell line will definitely soften the blow, no doubt. But the real question is China's response. Will they keep buying these cut down or watered down chips, or shift to domestic alternatives? Wang himself warned competition is growing in China, with Huawei now listed as a competitor in their 10K for the second straight year in a row. It hasn't been listed in over 5 years. Most analysts believe Nvidia's stock already factors in future export controls, which is why you've seen it come down, been range-bound. Mizuho's Jordan Klein, though, says shares have been de-risked, while Citi expects China restrictions and semiconductor tariffs will keep this stock range-bound for the next little while. The real long-term threat, though, isn't just today's revenue hit. It's Nvidia's potential, or the fact that Nvidia could potentially lose its foothold in the world's largest semiconductor market, just as local competitors gain momentum. So all of what you guys just spoke about, Dom, too.
All right. So, Christina, how big of a threat is the domestic chip-making market within China compared to Nvidia? How long do folks think it will take before it really becomes a situation where there is a viable competitor, real viable competitor to Nvidia's dominance?
Well, factor in when Biden put in place these rules, which was in 2022, when you really started to see the beginning of it. And then factor in, and that's when Huawei was banned as well from just any type of relationship with the United States. You've already seen it grow. I saw one stat about 60% of the market is coming from Huawei chips. So it's growing exponentially faster. And that's the argument against export controls. If you add these export controls, it's only going to help the homegrown markets grow stronger and larger and faster. And then it really isolates each country. Nvidia's argument is that their chips are better quality, but then you bring up the whole DeepSeek argument. Hey, DeepSeek was using H800 chips, which are not as high-end as the other chips that are available on the market now with Blackwell and stuff, but they were still able to provide incredible compute. And so that's really going to come into play in the near term. No doubt China's growing, and that's the biggest argument against these export controls. You're helping the other guys get better.
All right. Christina Partsenevelis with the latest there on Nvidia and export controls. Thank you very much for that.